Hello, this is Antoine with another episode of Out and Up, where we encourage young athletes to achieve their very best outside of the game. And like every show, we have another awesome guest, and I'm going to go ahead and just let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Xztashya. I am a junior at Whiteville High School. I play tennis and softball at my high school.
Well, thank you, Xztashya, for being on the show with us. Are you ready to get into the questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Where are you originally from, city and state?
Pretty sure I was born in Paterson, New Jersey, but I lived in Wallington, New Jersey. I moved here July 4th, 2013, North Carolina.
Okay, and you've been in the Whiteville area since then?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you said you're a softball and a tennis player. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been playing those two sports?
I've been playing softball since when I was 5, maybe, or maybe a little bit older. And I started playing tennis my freshman year. Tennis was very different from softball because, softball, you would try to hit the ball as hard as you can, but tennis, you need to focus your strength on the ball and try not to hit it out. So it took me a while to get the hang of tennis, but I got it.
That's cool. Are there any other sports that you've played in your youth?
I have played soccer in middle school. I tried basketball. I thought I was pretty good. I just never made the team, but, it's okay.
Well, you're doing an awesome job in tennis as well as softball. So we can let the other sports go to somebody else, I guess.
Yeah.
What position do you play in softball?
I usually play outfield, but I can also play any position coach put me in, but it's primarily outfield.
All right. What inspired you to play those two sports that you've kind of focused on at this time? What's the inspiration behind even playing those sports?
When I started playing softball was when I was young. My siblings played it as well, so I looked up to them, so I wanted to do it just like them, and I just started like it. I mean, once you're good at something, you try to keep up with it. Tennis, it was an impulse decision for me to go try out. I was going to do volleyball. Oh, I forgot about volleyball. I played volleyball. I was girl 10th grade year, and because COVID, tennis and volleyball were usually in the same season, but they weren't. But I played volleyball as well. But I was going to try out for the volleyball team freshman year, but I decided not to. So I did tennis because I know a lot of people didn't do tennis. I wasn't very good at it in the beginning, but as I've learned, I've gotten better. So yeah.
All right. So what have been some of your accomplishments in those two sports over the last couple of years? Because, seeing what you were doing in the sport, I've seen that you've accomplished some things. I recall seeing an article. There was a walk-off home run,
Yes.
game winner, as well as I've seen some things that you've accomplished in tennis. So to you, what's been some of your biggest accomplishments in those two sports?
I would think that walk-off against East Columbus, it was home. Pretty sure we were fighting. It was a conference game as well, so it didn't count. I mean, I just swung the bat. I keep thinking about I just swung the bat, and it went over. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh wow, I hit a home run. I didn't know the game was ended, honestly. I'm like, why isn't she hitting? But it was ended. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did that. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, you hit a home run on a walk-off. It was a top, like for a whole week. I said, yeah, I did that. Also, there's a pitcher in our conference. She goes to South Columbus. She pitches pretty quick. I hit a home run off of her. The score was, they would have run ruled us. The score was at the time 12-0, maybe a little less on their part. And I hit that home run, and it's got us, started. After I hit that home run, it was 1. And then after I hit that, there was other girls who hit as well, and we got 3 points. But I've never heard anybody in the conference or anywhere to hit a home run off of the girl. So I felt as that was a good accomplishment. I mean, a lot of people can't say they hit off of her. She's a pretty quick pitcher, so I don't. I was like, yeah, I did that.
That's
but I mean,
good.
we still lost. but I think I did well.
All right. It was a personal accomplishment for you, knowing that this pitcher that you were facing was a pretty good pitcher, and like you said, pitch fast, and it wasn't many others that have hit home runs. So at the end of the day, I'm sure like any other game, it's probably tough when you lose a game. But at the end of the day, just the personal accomplishment of being able to hit that home run, I'm sure it was cool.
Oh, also I didn't get tennis yet. This year I was undefeated in my conference. At the start of the season, pretty sure I was 4, but one of our players got hurt, so I moved up to 3. I won the Waccamaw 2A conference. I went to regionals. Sadly, I lost, but it was a good accomplishment that I went. I went as singles by myself. It was a pretty good experience. I got to see girls that are better than me. See how they played. It kind of helped me see what I should do. Start doing. But it was fun.
That's good. That's good. So when you're playing 2 sports like this, like I know softball is your thing. You also play some travel ball when it comes to softball also, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been playing travel softball?
I would say maybe 2014, 2015.
Okay. All right. So when you're playing 2 sports like that, are you able to equally give each sport the attention, or is that necessarily not even your focus? Like, do you have one sport that you focus on more than the other?
I would say I would focus on softball more, but any sport I'm doing, I would put my 100% into it. Even though I might not go to college for tennis, I still put my all into it as I practice. When in the summer, we usually have workouts, and that's when I'm deep into softball. But we have workouts during the week. So, I put my time in there, maybe stay after a little bit, hit some with some people on my team. Then I would do softball that weekend, or maybe even after tennis. So, I think I would put equal time into each.
So what are some things that you do between the 2 sports? I heard you talking about hitting with some friends and things like that, but between tennis and softball, what are some things that you do in your personal time to really sharpen your skills? I know outside, when you're really trying to be good at a sport, someone is really focused on improving their skills, you got to do more than just go to practice. You have to be able to sharpen your skills at home. So what are some things you do in your personal time to sharpen your skills in those 2 sports?
When I'm doing tennis, let's say if I'm not good on my serves, or if I need to get my forehand, backhand good. Serves I can do by myself. I would just practice with repetition, keep doing it until I get it right. And my forehand, backhand, I would ask a friend to come with me, and I would just hit, until I perfect it and see what I'm doing. For softball, it's usually offense. Hitting is usually what I would have a little struggle in sometimes. So I would record myself at home, see what I'm doing wrong, show my coach as well. And, he'd give me his feedback. I would go home, hit off a tee, perfect what I'm messing up. And if I see anything else, I would fix it as well. When I'm not doing work, I usually do softball, go outside, hit on the tee.
Okay. And so for both sports, I'll ask, do you consider yourself to be a student of the game? Do you watch a lot of videos when it comes to tennis? Like when you learned the sport, did you watch a lot of, videos to kind of learn how to do different things between the 2 sports?
Yes, for tennis, I watched a lot of videos, especially, when I first started, because I had no idea what I was doing. I watched how to do your forehand, because that was the most basic step you could do. And then, I started watching matches. Serena and Venus, I watched them a lot, especially Serena. I've seen a lot of her highlights, things she's done. Very impressive, may I add. But yeah.
So you're a junior in high school, class of 2023. Was there a big difference between playing, I guess we'll say softball, because you say you started playing tennis in high school, correct?
Yes, sir.
So was there a big difference in the competition from middle school to high school? Like, was there a big transition?
I would think so. It was more competition in high school, but also not a lot. From what I've played in travel ball, you could tell the difference. The speed was quicker, and all the players, they could hit better. Then when I got to high school, I could tell the difference from how it was in middle school. from high school, how much better it was. And, I mean, I was prepared, but also I wasn't in some senses because I haven't seen it. But, I've adapted.
What are your ultimate goals and aspirations when it comes to playing both sports? Like, are you looking to play on the next level in one sport or both sports? Like what are your goals when it comes to these two sports?
My goal for I want to play at a collegiate level for softball. I haven't looked into colleges yet, which I need to be doing ASAP. But I've also heard that you could get double scholarships. So, if the coach knows I play tennis, I might get a double scholarship. I haven't talked to any coaches who would do that, but I know my travel ball coach said that, that could be an idea. And that'll just be more money for me, but also it'd be more of my time and my physical body, it would be a lot on me. It's not like I can't do it, but I'll just have to manage my time well. But That's the goal.
That's cool. That's cool. So, when it comes to looking at schools, you just said that you got to jump on it. But one thing that being able to interview some of the young guests that I've had, and even some of the collegiate guests that I've had on, one thing they kind of talk about is just having options. And so I think it's safe to say that you're probably going to have some options in the fact that you're doing good on the field, as well as you're doing an awesome job in the classroom. For those watching, let them know what your GPA is.
So 4.3.
4.3, which is awesome. It's above an A. It's an A plus for those, just watching when it comes to numbers. However, what is awesome to me in listening to my guest today is that we had a conversation about a GPA, and I want you to repeat what you said about this 4.3.
I said it could be better.
Which I think is awesome, because she's not being satisfied with what she has, but she knows that she has more. And so I think that's awesome. And I think that goes a long way when it comes to not even, just in the classroom, but in life and even on the field, understanding that I have more to give, or I can do better. And so I told her prior to us, starting the show that I just, I hope that she just keeps that mindset. I think that's awesome. Continue to doing a great job. But I just hope that the young people watching or listening will just create, grow to have that mindset that no matter what you have, you can do better. So for those that may not have the 4.3, you may have a C in some classes. You can do better. If you have a B, remember, you can do better. And if you have that 4.0 or higher, just maintaining that mindset that you don't get comfortable, and always have that mindset that you can do better. So keep up the great work in the classroom. Keep up the great work. But that gives you an option. So I'll ask you this, even though you say you have some work to do as far as getting ready for looking for schools, what just right away, like, what are some things you think you'll be looking at when it comes to kind of trying to figure out where you may want to go? Do you have some things that you may look at and trying to sift through the different schools that you'll have options to go to?
Well, I want to go in the biology field, so I'm going to see if they have any good sciences biology field. Also, the people they have there, how much diversity they have. I was looking at HBCUs and PWIs as well. Also, the area where it is, because, I don't want to be in a dangerous area or anywhere too far from home. Yeah, that's about it.
That's good. So you say you would like to major in biology. So what are some of your goals and things that you're looking at doing even beyond the school point? To have that major as the major you would like to, the thing that you would like to major in, I believe you've already done some thinking about what you would like to do from a career standpoint. So what is that?
So I want to major in biology and minor in business. After biology, usually all schools have biology. I want to do biotechnology. Biotechnologists, they usually help with like prosthetics things, maybe pacemakers, things that help humans and also medicine as well. I want to make a new medicine or, try to make a new medicine for these diseases that are coming out. A lot of people's sicknesses that there aren't anything to help with. Hopefully, I'll go to a bigger city. There's a lot of opportunities in bigger cities. Hopefully we'll work in a lab, have good money because that, gotta live somehow.
Yeah.
In a good area, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. I don't want to not be happy with my job. Even though I do get good money, I still don't be unhappy. So that's the plan.
That's good. That's good. And so I'll ask you, you're doing an awesome job in the classroom, awesome job on the field. Just recently had an interview where I talked to a young gentleman. He's actually at an Ivy League school, Columbia University in New York. And one of the things he touched on was just some of the things that the schools look for when they're accepting applications. And so, of course, because I wanted to get an idea of, hey, what do they look for when someone applies to an Ivy League school? So, of course, grades are big, and then your placement test, he said, some serves of some importance. But then he was saying just extracurricular things. They really look at, sometimes they'll take the student that may have a slightly lower GPA, but may be very active in different areas, sports and extracurricular. So what are some things you do outside of sports? Like, I think one of the videos I saw on YouTube with you on it, you were running for a position with your class government. And what was that?
I was running for my class secretary, and I did get the position. We usually talk about things we could help. I'm class of 23. We're about to come in a senior year, so I'll probably be busy with that, preparing us for all the events that we will have for senior year. I also am in juniorettes. We usually help our community. It's a group of girls from our school, but it's not associated with our school. We usually help with our community, do some community work, just help out. I think that's it. That's it.
That's good. That's good. And so outside of school, outside of those things that you do, what are some things you do for fun in your spare time?
I like K-pop, Korean pop. Even though I might not understand them, I look up the lyrics. I like to listen to it a lot. I like to do DIY crafts. I might not be good at it, but I do. Also, I love Netflix. I usually don't have time for that, but usually when I go to sleep, I like watching K-dramas. I like action movies as well. Those are good. I like Marvel. Yeah. Also, I like clothes. I like fashion. I have a lot of clothes, a lot. I just like trying them on, see what I'm gonna wear this to. I like shoes as well, and jewelry. I love jewelry. Have a lot of that. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you, because I know you say you really got to go through the school process, but did I hear you say that you were kind of looking at staying pretty close to home?
Not too close, cause you need my distance, but
okay.
Like Raleigh area.
Okay.
Maybe I'm there.
Okay. So no, when I hear you talking about fashion and some of the things you like doing, you don't have no aspirations to hit any of the big cities you originally born up north. You wouldn't like to go back to a New York area?
It's a possibility, but New York, I don't think I'm made for New York. The rent, the money up there, it's expensive anyway. So, maybe to visit, but to live, I don't think so. Unless, spontaneously I get some money somehow, then that's maybe, but probably not.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to see, but maybe what you said, maybe the Raleigh area, possibly a Charlotte or somewhere. So somewhere, one of the bigger cities closer in the area.
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good. So being able to accomplish what you've been able to accomplish, in the sports as well as in the classroom, what is it that keeps you focused and grounded?
Usually my goals, what I want to do when I, get older, how I want my grades to be. after I get out of college. I look forward to that. Even though it's hard right now, I know I'll prevail because some of this work right now, it's terrible. But I know it won't last long, so I just keep going. Yeah, that's about it.
Say you have a young middle schooler in front of you, and they're preparing to move on to high school, and they want to play at the high level you're playing. They want to maintain a high GPA like yourself. What is some advice that you would give them for balancing it all?
It's going to take discipline from themselves because, you're the only one who can make yourself do whatever you want. You shouldn't look upon anybody else to do what you need to do, or don't want to do anything somebody else wants you to do. You should want to do it by yourself or for yourself. Studying, repetition helps me, but everybody's a different learner. So you need to set a time for you to study and then do whatever sports you're doing as well. And also free time, because you're going to need a break, but you can't just be pushing all that on yourself, because then you get stressed out and then that just wouldn't be good. So, you have to have good time management.
That's good. That's good. So you say you had the secretary position in the school government at your school. Is politics something that you would have any interest in? Are you a young student that look at politics, when it comes to, local or on the country end of it? Like, do you ever pay attention to things going on in politics?
Sometimes, usually don't. For my high school, it's just a thing I wanted to do. I wanted to step out my box because, I'm a pretty outgoing person, but I didn't think about running for anything. But then I did, so it's a good opportunity for myself. But politics outside, I don't think, no. Okay. I don't usually look at it.
Okay, all right. What I would ask, you talked about in one of your groups that you're a part of, as far as giving back. How important is it? And I'm asking a question, but this is something that's near and dear to me when it comes to mentoring and just finding ways to give back in the community. But to you, how important is it for the young athlete to always remember, no matter what level they're on, it's always important to find opportunities to give back to others? Speak on that for me.
Giving back, some people don't have things, so it's good to help people out. Even if it's your time, it's still helping some family out. Sometimes, you might not want to do it, but it's still good for you to help out. It makes me feel good, that I'm helping someone out while I'm, whatever I'm doing for my community.
That's good. And I think it's awesome that you have that mindset, because I see all too often when people get on different levels, and sometimes we have this me mentality, like, if I become a college player playing on a high level, it's about me. If I'm blessed to make it to the pros, it's about me. And I think we always have to maintain that mindset that if you're blessed to make it to the highest level or on each level, and I think even in high school, seeing students that find ways to give back like yourself, even those that move on to college and they come back and they're mentoring or tutoring or, even helping to train younger athletes. I think it's important because, like you said, there's others that don't have, they're not in position to whether it's travel ball or go to camps and things like that. And so it's awesome when young people have the mindset to give back. So, wow. We're like at the end, and I greatly appreciate you being with us. But I have a couple questions we always end with. How important is it to have positive people in your circle?
It's pretty important, because if you have negative people, then it'll bring you down as well. Positive people will, keep you going, make you laugh sometimes when you need it. It's really important.
And with everything you do, who is it that inspires you in life?
I would think my mother. She's just always there. It's, encouraging me to do things, even though I'm saying, I might not. She always encourages me. Oh my gosh, you should go to do that. She's my ride or die. I love her.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. That's awesome. I thank you for joining us. today on the show. The information you've given, I believe, will be very helpful. And before we close, I'm just going to ask you. You have a group of middle schoolers in front of you. What advice do you give them overall as a student athlete from both ends? What advice do you give them if they have the goals of playing at achieving their very best and playing at the highest level? Right now, I want you to speak to them. What advice would you give them?
Make sure you manage your time well. Make sure you have time for your schoolwork. Make sure you have time to work on your sports and some chill time as well, because you'll need it. High school, it can be hard, but sometimes it isn't. So you just need to prepare yourself for whatever comes. And yeah, just be prepared.
Well, once again, I thank you for being with us. Thank you for the information that you've given. Continue the awesome job that you're doing, not only on the field, but in the classroom first. Keep up the great work. And thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So all those that's watching, you know how I always end the show by simply saying it is awesome to be good in the sport that you're playing, but it's even better to be great in life. So if you're truly trying to achieve your very best outside of the game, I challenge you to come with us and go out and up. Have a good one.